All right, let's dive right in, shall we? Today we're taking a journey down into the crushing, freezing depths of the ocean to explore what is honestly a massive, high-stakes engineering mystery. I mean, how exactly do you power a robotic drone forever in the total, absolute darkness of the abyss? Welcome to this explainer. We are breaking down a total revolution in autonomous marine tech today. We're going to be looking at the wild thermodynamics of ocean gradients, mind-bending shape memory alloys, and some formerly classified physics that are finally making their way into the unclassified world. To really get the stakes here, you have to look at the military's desperate need for long-range autonomous vehicles. For decades now, the absolute biggest bottleneck for the Navy, it's human logistics. Just think about it. Moving a submarine or a drone around the globe requires specialized fuel, massive support vessels, and super vulnerable port facilities. DARPA's explicit goal is to completely sever that tether. They literally want a fleet that never, ever has to come home to refuel.
But here's the catch. The ocean trenches are completely unforgiving. This is a brutal operating environment. Down in the abyss, you are totally cut off from traditional renewable power. There's no sunlight for solar panels and, well, obviously no wind. Plus, conventional power sources are a huge liability. If you take a traditional lithium-ion battery down there, it doesn't just drain quickly. It can literally be crushed to pieces by the immense pressure and freezing temperatures miles below the surface.
So this leads us to the million-dollar question. How do you generate endless electricity miles underwater? The trick is figuring out a way to harvest energy directly from the harsh environment itself, rather than bringing a finite tank of fuel from the surface. Basically, if you can't bring a battery with you, the ocean itself has to become the battery. But how on earth do you extract power from cold, dark, high-pressure water? Well, the brilliant solution lies in something called the ocean thermal gradient. Think of the ocean as a giant, layered cake of temperatures. Up top, you've got relatively warm water near the sunlit surface. But down at the bottom, in the deep trenches, you have freezing, near 0-degree water. And it turns out, that stark temperature contrast between the layers, that is a massive, completely untapped reservoir of endless thermal energy. This sets up a completely brilliant thermodynamic cycle. Here's how it works. The drone hangs out near the warm surface, then it intentionally plunges straight down into the freezing abyss. That sudden temperature shock causes a specialized material inside the drone to literally freeze and expand, or melt and contract. That physical expansion creates immense hydraulic pressure, which is then routed to spin a turbine. It's just a simple, elegant engine driven entirely by the ocean's natural temperature layers. This exact cycle is why the military is pivoting so hard right now away from traditional super expensive naval power and moving toward what are called phase change materials, or PCMs. In these cutting-edge drones, they use specific compounds like alkanes. And alkanes are incredible. Why? Because they boast this massive solid-to-liquid volumetric expansion when they change temperature, and they're chemically inert. So they won't corrode the drone from the inside out, which means you get endless renewable thermal cycles. To visualize this, take a look at the schematic here from Caltech and the Jet Propulsion Lab. See those yellow and red columns? That is the phase change material in action. As the drone dives and the surrounding temperature drops, the PCM undergoes a phase change and physically expands. That expansion forces high-pressure oil into the bladders at the top, which then shoots through a hydraulic turbine, spinning a generator before flowing into a low-pressure bladder. The ocean's cold is literally pushing the oil to make electricity. It's genius. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but how much juice does this actually make? Well, early prototypes using this exact technology, like the Infinity Float from SeaTrek, can generate about 3 watt-hours of electricity per dive at depths of 1,000 meters. Now, I know, 3 watt-hours doesn't exactly sound like a massive nuclear reactor, but remember, this is completely independent of the surface. It's a slow, steady, infinite drip of renewable power that can keep a stealthy sensor platform alive indefinitely. Up to now, we've talked about fluids and waxes expanding, but this brings us to a frankly mind-bending leap in material science. What if you didn't need expanding oils and complex hydraulic bladders at all? What if the actual solid metal of the drone could act as the engine? Now, believe it or not, this isn't an entirely new idea. Way back in the 1970s, the aerospace giant McDonnell Douglas actually conceptualized heat engines utilizing this exact ocean thermal gradient, but the materials of the time just weren't ready. Today, they absolutely are. And that brings us to a wildly futuristic class of materials known as shape memory alloys, or SMAs. The most famous of these is Nitinol, which is a highly engineered blend of nickel and titanium. Nitinol is a deeply exotic metal because it undergoes what physicists call a diffusionless solid-state phase transformation. I know, that sounds super intimidating, but don't let the jargon scare you. In plain English, it just means the metal changes its internal crystal structure based on temperature, but without ever losing its overall solid form. To understand how nitinol actually works as an engine, we have to look at its two distinct crystal phases. At low temperatures, down in the freezing abyss, it enters what's called the Martensite phase. In this state, the metal's crystal lattice is actually pliable and compressible. You can physically bend it out of shape. But when you heat it up, like, say, swimming back up to the warm ocean surface, it instantly snaps into its austenite phase. In this state, it is rigid, unyielding, and fiercely structured. Think of it like a spring made of wax that magically hardens into steel the second you warm it up. We call this the violent return to geometry. Try to picture this, the glowing crystal lattice shifting phases. When nitinol is deformed in the freezing depths, it violently snaps back to its exact programmed geometric shape the very moment it warms up. This incredible structural memory means you can use the ocean's thermal gradients to trigger massive mechanical force from a solid piece of metal. You're literally turning the very frame of a drone into a thermodynamic engine. So all of this cutting-edge thermal science, the phase change materials, the shape memory alloys we just explored, it all brings us to the ultimate real-world application, DARPA's colossal Manta Ray drone. Built primarily by Northrop Grumman, yeah, the same aerospace titans behind the B-2 stealth bomber, the Manta Ray is what's known as an extra-large unmanned underwater vehicle. It's designed to carry heavy payloads, utilize ultra-low power propulsion, and execute incredibly long-duration missions without any human intervention whatsoever. And what about its power source? Well, Northrop Grumman specifically partnered with a company called Seatrek to pull this off. Seatrek are the absolute pioneers in ocean thermal energy conversion. They literally hold the patents for harnessing that exact temperature difference between the warm surface and the freezing abyss that we've been talking about. So they're integrating this exact phase-shifting science right into the Manta Ray, giving it an endless lease on life. But here's the crazy part. Energy conservation for the Manta Ray starts before it even hits the water. To absolutely maximize its power reserves, the Manta Ray doesn't even swim to its mission zone from a naval port. Instead, it was designed with a highly modular construction, so it can be shipped across the globe in just 5 standard shipping containers. It's rapidly assembled right on the water, precisely in the theater of operation. This completely bypasses the massive energy drain of a long transoceanic transit. Once it's finally deployed, the Manta Ray utilizes a really fascinating set of abyssal tactics. For one, it doesn't use massive, noisy propellers. Instead, it relies on highly efficient, buoyancy-driven gliding to move silently through the water column. It operates with literally zero on-site human logistics, and it features cutting-edge materials to mitigate biofouling and corrosion. Oh, and it possesses one more trick that makes it a true ghost of the deep. Incredibly, that trick is hibernation mode. If the Manta Ray arrives at its target area early or just needs to lie in wait, it has the ability to literally anchor itself directly to the seafloor. It powers down all its non-essential systems and enters a deep hibernation state. It just completely disappears into the crushing darkness of the abyss, waiting silently until its onboard sensors detect a target or it gets a remote wake-up command. By harnessing those temperature differences and phase transitions, whether through expanding alkanes or shape memory alloys like nitinol, the Manta Ray represents a massive paradigm shift. It becomes part of an autonomous fleet that never requires a port, a refueling sub, or a human crew. It is pulling endless electricity from the cold dark, turning the hostile environment of the deep ocean into its own limitless fuel station. Which leaves us with a rather chilling but entirely fascinating thought to end on today. We know DARPA and Northrop Grumman are successfully testing these things right now, but if a fully autonomous, extra-large, payload-capable drone never has to surface for fuel and can sleep indefinitely on the ocean floor, what else is already lurking in the abyss? It completely rewrites the tactical map of our oceans. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to keep looking into the incredible physics of phase change materials. Until next time, stay curious.